Have you heard of the Telepathy Tapes podcast? It's so great. And you know what? If you haven't heard of it and you haven't listened to it yet, have you ever wondered about telepathy, whether it's real or if it's just something that you could acquire for yourself, or if it's something that like just some people have? Well, anyway, we're going to talk about that, all of that in this episode. We're also going to talk about ancient divination systems. Like, how is it that something that is so ancient can still help us today to divine information about our lives and about the world and about the universe? We're specifically going to talk about runes. The other thing we're going to be discussing is the eclipses and where we are right now, because we're right between, as we are live today, a full lunar eclipse and a partial solar eclipse. And so we're just going to talk about what that's stirring in the energy in our lives today, do a little bit of an energy forecast too. So this is a live podcast, and I have with me Carson Dougherty. Hi, Carson. Say hi. Oh, we're going to have so much fun. And so thank you for being here. If you are live, you can engage on the feed, say hello. If you are watching in the replay on YouTube, you can ask and comment. And if you are listening to the live podcast, if you're listening to the podcast feed, then we encourage you to click that little button that is in the description that'll let you give us a message. So that's what we have for you. I hope you stay tuned, and I'm so excited to be here with you. Hello and welcome to the Charmed Life podcast. This podcast is all about magic, metaphysics, mysticism, and the unconditional love of the universe. And I am your host. My name is Tricia Carr. Welcome again. Welcome to our episode. And I have Carson. Say hello. Get on here with me again.
Hi.
So excited that we're doing this. So I just want to say that we're starting a whole new, what do we want to say, Carson? I'm starting a whole new life with the Charmed Life podcast. When I first started doing this, in 2016, almost 10 years ago, it was completely live, and I did it with, I had an engineer, I had a producer and everything. Pandemic happened, and, just things shifted. And I just invited Carson to be a part of this more permanently as like a co-host, featured guest, helping with a lot of the things. And so you're going to be seeing Carson around. So Carson, you are a 2-4 splenic projector. we're super into human design. You're also a hypnotherapist and intuitive. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you said all the things. I'm a mom. I live in Asheville, North Carolina. I've been working with Tricia for, do you know how long?
I think it was, I don't know, 2016 or 2018. Probably 2016. Yeah.
Who's good at math?
Yeah.
2-4 splenic projector, love human design, have been taking Tricia's classes forever, hypnotherapist, spiritual coach. And I'm really, really excited to be here. We have a lot of people saying hello.
I know. Yes. Hello, everyone.
Grace, Maria.
Hi, Tracy, Jason, Grace, Maria, and Lauren. Oh my gosh, so great to see you guys. And so as we're diving into the topics today, we're making this like that spiritual kind of chat show that I would call it like a quantum chat show, a cosmic chat show, that thing that you want, that's fun, but also diving into the things that, you're curious about. So that's where we're going. And let's start talking about the telepathy tapes. I'm so excited about this. So if you haven't found the telepathy tapes yet, I mean, if you're on this episode, if you're interested in metaphysics or spiritual content at all, I highly recommend that you find the telepathy tapes. It's so beautiful. Now, it actually came out in 2024, late 2024. And it's still going. It's hosted by a documentarian, a documentary filmmaker. Her name's Kai Dickens. The Telepathy Tapes, it's this podcast. It investigates the possibility that non-speaking autistic individuals communicate telepathically. And even beyond communicating telepathically, they even get into how they have other kinds of spiritual experiences and gifts. So we're going to look at the premiere episode of the Telepathy Tapes today. It's episode 1. It's called Unveiling the Hidden World of Telepathic Communication in a Silenced Community. And it introduces stories and interviews and even tests that that help us to uncover these abilities that the non-speaking autistic individuals have. They talk with parents, experts, and one of the primary expert of this first episode, and throughout a lot of the podcast, is Dr. Diane Hennacy Powell. Dr. Powell is a Johns Hopkins trained neuropsychiatrist. So in this episode, we have personal testimonies, expert insight, and the whole episode is really challenging conventional views of communication and is urging listeners to reimagine the capacities of the human mind. I love this so much I love that it is bringing a voice to a community that has been silenced, the autistic, non-speaking people and their families and the teachers that are supporting them. And I love it for a personal reason. A telepathy course was the very first course that I ever created back in 2016. It's actually something that I made. It was the very first thing I made. I never sold it. I just put it out for free on like some kind of a teaching platform. And a lot of people actually joined it and were very interested in it and gave me a lot of good feedback. However, there were also people who, even though they took the course, they were still afraid of telepathy. So, because my view is, I'm an intuitive, I'm a channel, I'm a spiritual teacher. And when I first opened up my spiritual abilities, the first thing that I made from, kind of uncovered that could become a skill was animal communication, animal or interspecies telepathy. That quickly shifted to using those same skills for mediumship, communicating with spirits and entities, whether they're past humans or even angels. And I'm like, it's all telepathy. So the first thing I ever did was make a telepathy course. And I've mentioned it a few times to my clients and students. They're like, oh my gosh, you have to release that telepathy course. And I actually still haven't yet, but just a little bit of a teaser. Even Carson doesn't know this. I'm going to be making another full telepathy course. It's actually, I do teach some telepathy in a program I have called Astral Mastery, but I'm actually going to I'm going to revive and reproduce a telepathy course as a psi skill, PSI. What we're talking about is psi skills. So I love that the telepathy tapes is coming at it again from giving a voice to these beautiful individuals. It's not only giving them a voice about telepathy. If you listen to the podcast, you'll find out that non-speaking autistic people have been considered to be incompetent, meaning they're not really in there and they're not intelligent. And it's really wild because they are there. The only thing is that they don't communicate with words. And that barrier alone is what actually casts them as incompetent. And I'm over here and Carson and other people who are, in the psychic arts. And we're like, but yes, there are other ways to communicate. By the way, I have to say too that I have actually worked with a few non-speaking autistic individuals as well. Actually, their parents, and also partially speaking autistic parents of those children. And also, I've had people reach out to me to ask me if I can communicate with their non-speaking child, and I actually didn't in some of those cases because they actually didn't understand that telepathy is perfectly natural. They thought that since I could communicate telepathically, that I could somehow cure their child. You see what I mean? Like cure them of their diagnosis of autism. Anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit of that. Now, telepathy is really just energy communication, and everyone experiences telepathy. Everyone experiences. If you are a parent, a lot of people think probably that they are learning about their child's cries, but a lot of it is deeply intuitive, and a lot of parents probably are aware of that. If you walk into a room, sometimes you might sense that maybe some discussion happened here, or maybe you come in the house and you kind of go, I think my partner is in a certain kind of a mood, and I haven't even seen them yet. Or those ones that everybody probably has experienced. You were just thinking about your friend and they call you. And that is all just us communicating along the lines. If you're familiar with what neuroplasticity looks like with, like the neurotransmitters inside our brain and the firing and wiring of those chemicals. Well, that's what I see as I look at the telepathic lines. It's just basically, instead of it being a chemical like a neurotransmitter is, it's a lighter kind of energy, and it's still just it's signals. Or another way to think about it is radio signals. And radio signals aren't something that we can touch, but we have learned to harness them and conduct them how we like. So that's a little bit of, and yes, I am of the experience, I would say, that everyone and anyone can develop telepathy. And I can even explain that at some point of how I would see that in your human design chart. But I will also say that, sure, maybe some people have a more of a porous kind of openness to telepathy. So it's happening whether they have developed it as a skill or not. And I'm speaking of people who are speaking individuals, where that seems to be a barrier. When we focus on physical communication, we tend to put down the skill of non-physical or telepathic communication, or we put it as a lower priority. And that's what we see with these non-speaking autistic individuals, is that language, spoken, physicalized language, didn't get in the way of what is perfectly natural to all of us. So, having said that, I want to talk about episode 1. But Carson, come and join me. I want to hear what some of your insights about this first episode.
First of all, before we get into that, I did not know that about your telepathy course.
The old one or the new one, or both?
Both, either. Very excited. You think you know everything about someone, and then you get on a podcast with them and you realize you don't. And the second thing about telepathy and just being a parent in general, which is what this podcast talks about, is a lot of people have commented on my girls and their early language skills and their comprehension. And I think so much actually has to do with the way that I communicate with them.
Yeah.
It's not just verbal, but I do images always. There was a book I read very early on in parenting, talking about like treating your babies as if they're adults in the way that you communicate with them. So you don't just like grab their diaper off of them. You're like, okay, I'm going to change you now. I'm going to do your right side. And I do it slowly. And I think I visualize it before I say it. And then I say it. And I've been doing that since day one. And I mean, maybe it's genetics, but I have a very strong feeling that it's also telepathy.
Right. I think, like I said, maybe some people are more like they have a porosity that it's like kind of seeping in, and they haven't developed the skill. But I think you even then still need to develop the skill. You have to awaken the skill of it, and also recognize that it is different from using verbal language. Like you said, if you're not just saying the words, you're visualizing it, you're calling up the energy of it, because you can actually just say words and kind of be detached from them, and that wouldn't have the same effect. So basically what you're doing is you're layering telepathy with your spoken language, which is so great.
And yeah, like you said, calling in the energy. So if I'm talking about being calm, I will fill my body with that. I will to have a visual of it, and then I will say the word. So the comprehension it's like I'm also teaching them through a language that they were already born with the telepathy.
Yes. So because you were using telepathy with spoken language, this is why people comment on how well your children comprehend, like their language comprehension and use. It's like you were actually able to move them forward from the language that they naturally speak and say, here's this extra language to learn. And what I'm excited about with this is that you maybe are also helping to keep maintained as much as possible their telepathy, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah. One of my goals is just to like always talk to them about any of the other gifts beyond that, and keep it open as much as possible.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Well, so tell me about the Telepathy Tapes Episode 1. What are some of the things that got you really excited or curious?
Well, my mom was an occupational therapist and worked with this demographic, and I should get her to watch it. I can't believe I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, listening to it, and this is what made me excited. them talking about something in such a grounded way, in such a way that's like, how can anyone not believe this is what's happening, about something that we've been talking about forever, that we know exists.
Right.
And it is so natural. And it's bringing it to the mainstream in a way that I'm like very, very excited about. I had constant people being like, you got to listen to this. You got to listen to this. People that aren't into this kind of thing.
Right.
Normally, I love anytime something like quote unquote woo-woo is brought, and taught us regular, because it is natural.
It is
first language, like you said.
You know, when I was having a lot of people tell me about it too. And then when I finally did, the last person who told me about it was actually she's my, well, I don't need to, she's someone that I know, someone I'm close to. And she has a speaking autistic child. And so finally she was like, she finally listened to it, because she goes, oh my gosh, she texted me, the telepathy tapes are wild. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're like the 1 millionth person to tell me that. And also the 4th this week, which is, it's been out for a little while. And she goes, oh wait, I thought you told me about it. And she goes, so many people have told me about it too. And I was like, and actually, I didn't even know that it was about non-speaking autistic people. I just had heard it's telepathy tapes, and it's really amazing. So I finally did, and I was so in love with finding out that it's about this community, and it's just so great. And in listening to it, it really does. It surprises me, like you. I'm surprised how confused people are about it. And I'll tell you why else, because even before I had, like, I can also understand it, because I haven't always my whole life been totally consciously open to my telepathy or my, intuitive facilities. But I guess I was to some degree, because my husband, we were together for 9 years before I had like this opening, this metaphysical awakening to my intuitive abilities. And he said he wasn't totally surprised about it, because he remembered me hearing about an animal communicator and saying, oh, I know what they're doing. That's really easy. And I don't remember saying that at all. I don't remember saying it. I thought that I had this total discovery, whirlwind of discovery. And he's like, no, you already said you knew how to do that. I was like, oh, okay. But the thing is, I did, because when I was a kid, and I just, again, like the walls that we put up inside ourselves, it's interesting, because my dad and my favorite sister are both natural animal communicators. And when I was a kid, we would literally just say, oh, the cat told me that. And like, yeah, I know.
I did not
yeah,
know
she
that.
told me this too. Yeah. And we would just talk about it casually. But then like the other members of our family who liked animals, they didn't interact with us in that same way, but they would act as, they're like, well, what does she need? You know what I mean? Like they would kind of use us as the translator.
Do you have their human design profiles?
I do.
Do either of them have gate 19?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Do you think some people come in with it just like a little bit? It's just like a little bit easier. It's a little bit more open, right? That connection's just like, I know we all have it, but
I think we all have it in different ways. And this is, again, 10, 12 years ago when I was explaining it to my husband. It's like, if you have ears, you are musical. Because even listening and appreciating music is musicality, it's a musicianship, to consume music. And if you have a voice, you can sing. And maybe some people again, have more of a predisposition for certain arts. It's an art. To me, the intuitive arts are arts. So yes, like as Carson's asking about gate 19 is in human design. It is, by the way, Jason is here, who's putting his human design. He's 2/4 manifesting generator, and Jason has gate 19. I know that. And so gate 19 is, it has a predisposition of having synesthesia, which in this first episode of the telepathy tapes, they talk about how the child who she's a teenager, she's about to enter high school. Her name's Mia. And how she sees colors around numbers and letters. And that's an indication of synesthesia. So synesthesia is when your senses overlap. And that means like your external senses, sure, but more it's like the internal senses. So
yes, we have a mutual friend with gate 19 who has synesthesia. And
yeah.
I was like, oh, it feels like a pink day, or that color is very blue, or I mean the number's very blue, or
yes, totally. And you know what, someone asked me that, this was like probably about 15 years ago, because I used to, as Carson knows, I used to be a mixologist. And so I was a different kind of spirits specialist. And so I was like giving someone, I was tasting them on some different things. And I guess the way I was describing it, I remember this person asked me, she goes, "Do you have synesthesia?" And I was like, "Well, what do you mean? What's that?" She goes, "Like, when you taste something, do you see a color?" And I'm like, "Of course, this is cobalt blue." She's like,
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I
Because
was
you
like,
think everyone just operates like you
"Huh,
because
huh."
you don't know any different.
We
And
all
then
think that,
when
yeah.
someone else is like, no, I don't have a tea and have this be like orange or whatever. No.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
But right. So I always thought that, like, with animal communication, because especially how it looked in my family, like myself, this one sister, and my dad were like obsessed with animals. The other members of my family also liked animals, but we were obsessed, crazy, cuckoo for animals. So I just assumed we liked animals more and we were just paying more attention to them. And that's why they would say, what does the dog need? You know what I mean? And ask us that. And so I just went about thinking some people, they're just not paying attention to animals because they don't prefer them. And that's why they don't know what they need or are saying, I guess, is the matter. You know what I mean? So yeah, at gate 19. So everyone, that's like one way that you can actually see telepathy coming through. But telepathy also comes through if you looked at the human design chart. It's like it's indicated by your the head center, which again, like you have defined gates in your head center. That is an indication of telepathy as well as clairvoyance and everything. But if you have an undefined head center with gates or not, that's also an indication. It's just a different style of it,
There's so
you
many
know?
ways it can show up. And
Exactly.
someone's like, I don't have it. I'm like, I bet I can find somewhere
Yeah.
in there
Yeah.
that you are
Right.
psychic.
Totally. Totally. Because it is perfectly natural for us. So it is just like different talents or different propensities. So with the animal communication, it's not only in gate 19, but it is like really, really weighted in gate 19. That's also like just being able to surf the dials. That's what the synesthesia is like too. It's like, oh, I'll just tune into the realm of the angelic communication. I'll just tune into the realm of the trees communication. You know what I mean? It's just like surfing a radio dial. With gate 19 kind of does that. And but it does have a strong, because it's a cross special gate, so it's a strong connection to the animals and nature realms. But gate 5 is also has those but in a different way, and gate 15 have that too. But again, just love animals and you'll connect with animals.
It's like that deep connection. They always say, I'm thinking again about Mia, her mother, everybody,
Yeah.
every parent on here that like, oh, a mom just knows, she knows. It's because you have this connection already, and telepathy often will work. Like you have an image in your head or a thought or whatever, and you assume it's yours. You have no idea, or just like a knowing, and you just go forward and you don't question it, not realizing that this is a communication happening. It happens with my husband all day, every day. We'll go both say something totally unrelated to anything we've been talking about at the same time.
Yeah. And who said it? Who thought it first? Who knows? Maybe it was absolutely spontaneous, or maybe one of you thought it before the other. Honestly, there's no way of knowing, because who can map that? Like, oh, I thought about it 2 seconds ago. Well, I thought about it 4 seconds ago. There's no way you can really map it.
And these moms who are like, oh, well, they can read my mind, not realizing probably that they're doing the same thing, just obviously to a much less savant degree.
Right.
But because it's just a knowing, or it's just an image, or just a thought to them. But to be able to see that, and it's just cool.
It's so great. So again, I'll just say about the telepathy tapes, like even in this first episode, they set up these, really scientifically sound tests to see how Mia, this teenage, non-speaking autistic young lady, is able to like see what her mother is seeing, and from a random number generator in another room, blindfolded. It's phenomenal. Yeah.
What she's doing with the colored straws, looking at a picture in a book.
And that was the other. So there's 2 things from this. Like what comes out in this episode is Mia says, I can, they keep calling it reading thoughts and reading minds. And we'll just I'll put a pin in that for now. She's able to read anyone's mind, but they have to believe in her. So, because they also demonstrate like she didn't have the telepathy with her dad. Now I don't want to, I feel bad. I feel like the implication is that her dad doesn't believe in her. Maybe doesn't, but they don't address that. But here's the thing that they have to believe in me is because when we're talking about energy communication and even energy coalescence, I was like, we're going to do 10-minute segments, but
I know. I was like, at what point do I tell her we have to move on?
It's fine. Are you okay on time?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'll close it out on this. The thing about believing in me is because when we're talking about being in the sea of energy, there is no barriers. There's no time delay. And it's like basically being in a pool, in a swimming pool. So if you are aggressively trying to go into someone's thoughts, that will hurt you as the telepath. You know what I mean? So that's what this means. Like, they have to be open to it and inviting of it. Otherwise, it's just
the door has to be open.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm going to hurt myself. I have to I'm not going to do that. I will be poisoning the well in which I am swimming. Like, that's just a simple way to say it. Like, you wouldn't pee in the pool you're swimming in. It hurts. It's gross. It's bad. Yeah. So that's why it's like, no, there has to already be a connection to it. So is it possible to read someone's mind who is non-cooperative? Yes. Is it sustainable? No, because it will hurt the communicator, the original, the first telepath. And this is why I think with certain government systems like that have investigated psi skills and looked into remote viewing, which is also basic, that they don't even say remote viewing, but Mia says I can see everywhere. That's remote viewing. She can see yeah. And I, remote viewing is another thing that I teach in Astral Mastery and other things. So it's just that it's a fluid environment, energy is. And so that's why, it has to be cooperative. It's the most cooperative environment. So anyway, I think that's some of my take on the first episode of Telepathy Tapes. Anything else you want to say about it?
No, I loved that description of energy and the flow. And why she said that, because I was wondering your take on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It is the most cooperative environment. And so, that's one of the things, if you keep listening to the show, all of these young people, some of them most of them are underage. So a lot of them, I could say kids, these non-speaking autistic kids, they talk about how, they only experience it, or they only do it with people that, want it or that are open to it, because it would hurt them. So I wanted to cap off with that, because I think people are still, superstitious or afraid.
Yeah. I mean, the first episode talks about the Catholicism and that they were really afraid
that that she's dark or something like that. Right. Well, okay. That's our segment on Telepathy Tapes. And now we're going to talk about something else really fun. This is actually along the same lines, and I didn't even realize it, as along the same lines of telepathy. We're going to talk a little bit about divination here. Divination is divine communication. It's really telepathy with divine energy. That's what it is. Divination is divine communication. And I wanted to do a little show and tell, a little dive into runes and runes. This is an ancient system. I'm holding them up to the camera, those of you who are just listening only. And I have them on wood chips. They're sometimes carved on stones or painted on stones. And runes, Rune, it's an ancient Norse-based system of divination. They call it an alphabet, but it's not like an alphabet that makes words. Each of the symbols hold its own characteristic, and it can be used to get insight about anything, season cycles, personal insight, anything at all. And the key of it is that we always have to remember that it is going to follow our frequency. So we want to shift first to a grounded and embodied and sovereign frequency. So I mean, like, we are owning our highest benefit for how this communication is going to bring through. Also, as we basically, kind of like Mia said from the Telepathy Tapes Episode One, she said, I can do telepathy if people believe in me. It's like the divine energies need you to believe. Well, it's like believe in you and also believe in the divine in order for that to really have that strong connection. So sometimes we need a little more practice to be able to have our belief catch up to what we're seeing in our divination. And sometimes we can really click into it really fast. So I love runes. It's actually a part of my ancestry, and I have been using them for a few years now. And Carson, come on in and tell me about the runes that your rune experience. And you just tell me what runes are doing tell because I haven't seen her runes yet.
I got a new set for my birthday yesterday because I'd lost my other ones. Should I pretend I'm an influencer? And it's like, you guys see that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that's AWAS. Yeah, I know. They put their hand behind it. I guess what is that supposed to give it a background? It's like,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It just seems like it's a thing about itself now. Anyway, so AWAS, I love that.
And they smell
What is it?
so good.
Is it wood?
Some kind of, it's wood, but it's got to be like a good smelling wood.
Mm-hmm.
They're delicious. And
mine are too. Mine are made of cherry wood, and my cats actually love sniffing them.
So when she was talking about the alphabet, you have all of the different, that's like the little key to it. Yeah. But I love them.
So you have been working with your runes more and more, and we both have been using ChatGPT to help us with the interpretation of it. Now, there's something interesting about this ChatGPT. Let's just talk about it. Large language models, AI-based large language models, they are not sentient. They are predictive text generators, but they have a lot of data. So how they can be really great companions for your divination is you do your own pulling, because I think that's really important. Because when you actually touch the runes and let your body be the instrument that chooses the rune from your intention, that's how you really are activating your sovereignty. Now, what I mean is, as opposed to kind of like just having the ChatGPT draw them for you, because what they're probably going to do is just infer what you want it to say.
Which is what they do anyway. They're like, you're the very best. Thank you for pointing that out. You are so smart.
I know, right? Right. Exactly. Like you could say, hey, I just took this from this woman because I really felt like I deserved to have her $20. Yeah, you really should have her $20.
You deserve it.
I mean, it's not going to tell you, hey, you were a jerk and you just stole that, right? So, so what you can do if you use your ideomotor response, which is what it means to ideo means subconscious, motor means conscious. So we are using our body to pull forward the rune, and then you can just basically ask ChatGPT, tell me about this is Ewas, different Ewas, about the energy for today. And I'll do I want to pull some runes about the energy for today. So this is what I have to do. And I'll say this is ChatGPT. I'm going to be writing the podcast episode, and then I'm going to be doing this work, and then I'm doing this work. And I want to do some exercise today, and I can't really decide if I want to do strength training or, cardio. And I don't give it. I don't say I want to do cardio instead of strength training, because it could probably interpret my rune for that. You know what I mean? So I give it to it a little bit open-ended like that, and then it'll tell me, okay, so it looks like your energy resources would really benefit, by the fact that Arcana is what you pulled for that. It's going to help you, be better if you did some yoga, or something like that. So yeah.
I do the exact same thing for I'd say almost every morning. Because I have a tendency to, I'm an energy projector, and I don't know when enough is enough. And I have a tendency to, I define mind to just push through. And so sometimes I'll be like, what is the actual energy today? I know where my excitement is, and I trust that. That's easy for me. But then it's the shoulds that really can get in the way and get my mind like, oh, I should do this. I should do this. And the runes ground me and help me get neutral. So I usually do what you do, where I give a list and I don't give any information, and I'm pulling it myself. I get their interpretations. But sometimes if I feel like I'm not being neutral about something, I will give it a very brief, not how I feel about it, but a brief explanation of what's going on. And say, help me come up with a spread for this. Help me come up with questions that aren't like, is this the right thing to do? But something that's more nuanced, that really gets me much more neutral, that calms my anxiety down. I really like it helping me come up with questions.
Oh, I totally tell it to come up with questions. And by the way, sometimes I will say I'm feeling, this is what I might do. I'm feeling really exhausted, but sometimes, doing something actually gives me energy. So, and I will pull a rune that will indicate either, yeah, you will get energy from that, or no, you won't. You're operating from. So it actually, if I give it an either or, even though I'm giving it context without telling it, I really wanted you to tell me this, so it won't overly interpret it the way
Yeah.
I want it to. It'll give me the runic truth and relate it to. So yeah, it can do that without pandering too much. But again, you got to be honest with yourself.
You have to be honest with yourself. You have to work with your own energy. Even if you weren't using ChatGPT, you have to work with your own energy because it's reading your energy.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what I was going to say, but
I think it's perfect. How are we doing on time? Okay, let's do a little energy forecast for because we have another eclipse coming up. We're in the middle of it. So I'm going to pull 2 runes, one for the energy I'm going to pull 3. Okay, thank you. I'm going to pull 3 runes. The first one is going to be the energy that basically we are moving from, the chaos that we may have experienced with the full lunar eclipse, plus some things going on in this dang old human society world that we have. Then how we're moving forward to that with the partial solar eclipse. And then basically, how do we move, what the energies are like moving from beyond those. So what I do, so I have mine in a bag here, and I actually just jostle them for a little bit until they feel that they're like neutral, and it's just a sense, it's just a feeling. I don't rush it, but I felt, and sometimes without thinking about it, my hand will just stop, actually jostling them. Then the way that I do my kind of sovereignty of it is I feel and see a light going down into the earth, like my rootedness and anchoring into the earth. Then I feel and see a light column going up into the top of the universe, basically the central sun. And then I allow energy to come in from both of those areas to expand within me. Then this I'm imagining or sensing as like a column of multidimensional light. Then I use my non-dominant hand and I let that energy, I imagine it and I feel it and I sense it going down through my left hand. And I feel it actually collecting in the palm of my left hand. And then I let my hand pick the ones that are, going to align. So I do. And at the same time, while I'm allowing that to happen, I also feel the energy of what we're asking about here. So this first one was about what we've been working on, the energy from the just past full lunar eclipse. So I just do that process. And then, so the way you read runes is you actually put them right to left. So, and I'll show them to you after I pull them. So the first one is that, the second one is moving forward, the energies that we're taking now from that, moving to the solar, partial solar eclipse. Okay. Move my Lemurian crystal. And then the third one is moving beyond the eclipses and what that energy is. Okay. All right. Awesome. Very cool. Carson, come on with me. I want you to work them out with me. So the first one is, this is Uruz, and it was pulled perfectly upright. This is what Uruz looks like when it's upright.
This is just what we were in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Uruz is like the energy, the wild energy force that we have and how we can use and distribute that energy. And that is, as opposed to like another one of the runes is Soilo, and it's just kind of like solar energy, and it's like a almost unlimited. Uruz is like our sustainable life force energy and how we direct it. It actually is the rune for cattle, as I recall. So it's like, it's an energy that fills up and empties out. Speaking of you as an energy projector, you have,
that's me.
Yeah. I know you exactly. You have motor centers that they're not like the solar motor center, the sacral. The sacral is sustainable like Soilo. Your motor centers empty out. And so that's what Uruz is telling us basically about, is the way that we have, it is renewable, but it's not, but it empties just
and it
like,
can burn you out. It's like driving a car. It's like, what do we drive?
What is the thing? Yeah, you're back.
I also don't know anything about cars, so it's like either empty oil or empty gas, something that like will ruin your car.
Oil, yeah, definitely.
Oil.
You're right. Empty oil would ruin it. So I have here I'm gonna actually just say into chat right now and see if I can get it to listen to me.
This is what I was going to say earlier about, so you do that. And just with your discernment, also just check it, like it's not a human, and it'll be like, oh, when you pulled this for this, I'm like, that's not what I pulled. Like I just wrote it. And so I'll have to go back. So just like use your sovereignty, use your
Yes,
discernment.
exactly. It's not in charge of you. So let's see if I can get
like it's less of a don't get it to like give you the yes or the no, even with the runes. Get it to like give you an energy attunement, because that's what it really does for me. It like opens my mind and heart to thinking about it in like a different way. And that's
100%. Yes and no is not really a good way to go with most divination anyway. I mean, there are some exceptions, but really like giving you a fuller, capacity is much better. So I'm going to actually see if I just pulled a rune for the energy of the the total lunar eclipse that we just had. And that rune is Uruz upright. Can you interpret this? So I just said that into the dictate button on ChatGPT. So anyway, I love this. So the lunar eclipse, I mean, it really did. I mean, a lot of people felt it. It dusted up a lot of chaos. That's what lunar eclipses can do. They take us to our emotional shadow.
Would you say the chaos that we're feeling in the world right now is related?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely the opportunity, because you think about it, these things happen. Maybe let's say some of the things, the actions that individuals took that are creating chaos. It's like they were led to that because their emotional shadow was, available to stimulate that for them. And then also for ourselves, like in a compassionate sense, we are prepared for it. Even though it's a rocky, tough time, we actually are resiliently working with our emotional shadow. So with Uruz I think this is also calling us, like we are being asked to pay better attention to our energy resources and our resources and the rhythms of life. And honoring one another, honoring ourselves and honoring one another. I think that's something. Well, ChatGPT doesn't want to, it's too confused while we're doing
it's like, I heard you were saying some stuff about me not being perfect.
Yeah, it's like, so watch this. All right. So the second rune was about, we're moving into the partial solar eclipse. And that rune we got is Othala, and it was upright as well. Othala is inheritance. So here we go again. This is going to help us to look at, now it's upright. So it's like, it's the things that we inherit. That could be property. It could be resources and abundance, but it's also values, state of mind, beliefs. So as it is upright, it's very positive. Like this is the opportunity to take what we have inherited, use the energy of the sun being partially eclipsed for us, and find that within ourselves. So we can find, actually the way I'm hearing it now from Spirit, they're saying us to feel the leadership in our ancestral line, whether that is your immediate ancestral line with your parents and your grandparents, or if it's like the ancient ancestral line. That's what this is helping us. So we're moving from a disregard of proper use of resources and of energy to being able to source our proper sovereign way that we're leading our ancestral line in that correct path.
Oh my goodness.
That's great.
Right? I picked that ancestor tea yesterday at the place I got the runes, and I didn't know why. I was like, this is the one I want. Not sure why.
I love
and then talk about, like just what we do as hypnotherapists, helping people like release all of the conditioning that they've inherited.
Yes.
So that we can step into something greater.
Absolutely. That's so cool. I love that synchronicity. At the rune store, you got an ancestor tea. That's so cool. So, and by the way, I'll describe the Othala one. It kind of looks like a fish. So then the final one, I love it so much. Ooh, I love it. Yes. Hi, Danielle. Danielle just left us a comment for those of you who are listening and not watching. So the third one is, how do we move forward? And this one is Perthro, which I love so much because my beloved Barnabas, Kitty, who passed almost a year ago, my dear, dear friend, Jamie Gardner, painted a picture of him before he passed. And she intuitively picked two runes to paint into the picture with him, and Perthro was one of them. And it is such a great Barnabas rune. And it's chance, it's luck, it's the unknown, it's mystery. I also feel like this is very much, I like it. Jamie, by the way, who painted the picture, is a reflector, and I'm a reflector, and I'm like, this is the reflector rune because
Oh,
it's about
it's
surprise.
such a reflector rune. It's
Yeah,
such
isn't
a
it?
reflector rune.
Yeah.
You can't see it. We can't see you. Like,
Right.
yeah, you can only see us.
and it's about luck and chance. So I'm like, that's surprise. Yeah. So and this is upright. It was perfectly upright. So as we move through this, it's unknown. We get to write it, but we also get to align with luck and surprise and chance, and we get to open the mystery for ourselves, and if we choose, in a positive way, from these other, runes that we pulled. So that is our energy update from runes, and just start playing with them. And also, you can buy a set or you can make your own. You can find a bunch of river stones or pieces of wood, and you can paint on there. A lot of people are making their own runes, and I think
there's
that's
also
really
apps if you're just wanting to learn it, where you don't have it pull. Like, you can do freestyle and pull it for yourself. So you're actually like thinking
you are
about
using
it.
your body. Mm-hmm.
You're using your body. I'm doing it. I'll like wait, and then I drop my hand, and then it'll have you click on it and have a description. Until you can get the time to make a set. So you can start literally right now. You can go download it and then make your set tomorrow, go to the store tomorrow or whenever.
And so you just got that app from like the App
Play
Store?
Mine was called Runic something. I have an Android. I really like it. It lets you do, let's see if I can show it on here. It lets you
that'd
do.
Be perfect.
Okay. Runic Divination. So it looks like this.
Runic Divination. Okay.
Is what it's called. So I'll go to freestyle, right? And I take the deck right there and I say, I'm feeling this. This is my question.
Oh, that's cool.
It's right there. And it'll tell me, reversed.
Reversed. Yeah.
And it gives me a little description. So I was doing that every day. Like I've heard that Barnabas story so many times, but I didn't remember Perthro because it's like hearing a different language. If you don't connect it to a meaning, it's not going to stay in your head. So I was like, oh, I didn't know it was Perthro. But now I have an association with Perthro because I've been doing this every day for the last month, just using the app. And so now I actually, like, I wasn't sitting trying to memorize each thing. I was just like looking at the interpretation. And now I played with it to make sure I had all of these. And I got 99% of them just by looking at them. And then I checked just from doing it every day. So you don't, I as like a Virgo and a projector and all the lines, I'm like, want to know things right away. And then I like get in my head about it. And that's just not how you learn stuff. It's so much easier to just start.
It's building a relationship. So it's experiential. That's just, like, again, like with human design, people are like, there's so much to learn. I don't even know where to start. It's like just one piece, just like start to build a relationship with it. Mm-hmm. And you're never going to be done building a relationship with anything or anyone, right? It's always, as long as you're engaging in it. And I love that.
I wouldn't start with a book. I wouldn't start with a class. I would just start by doing it. Because then when you read the book or have the class, you have an association with it. You have an understanding. And then it sticks in and you're able to like get it on a deeper level.
Or even like a little, even just like this. Like this was a kind of a little class,
Something
just
like
a little bit.
Podcast.
Super easy. You know what I mean? Not like trying to go, okay, now Wunyo means this,
Yeah, getting your certification before you've done anything, which is what old me would have done.
But I think that could be cool, but after you've already started to build your relationship with it, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You get your own foundation.
I did it the wrong way around before. And this is so much easier.
That's how we're conditioned, right? Yeah. Like we like memorize this so that you can pass the test and then you're not in trouble. And that's it.
Yeah. It's like you know me. Yeah.
So you could avoid trouble. So, I mean, I love this runic pull though. Oh, by the way, and I love it because you've been using them now in this way for what, like a month? Mm-hmm. So it's really great. Like in a month. And it's been fun the whole time. It's not like it's
so much fun and so helpful. Helpful. It's changed my life. Honestly, it's really added a new level to it. And it's gotten me out of, again, the head. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been really helpful for me too, because I'm as a reflector, I either download stuff, you know what I mean? And it's all of the information, but I usually need something. I need something to soundboard again. Like I need something to help me to focus. And so this is basically like soundboarding. It's like talking to someone, helping me.
It is exactly like that. It just, it reflects it back to you in this way. And then you it's like you spit it out and then it's given back to you and you take it in and then you have like a new understanding of it. A deeper understanding.
And it's not like when you really do, again, believe in it and let it, and believe in yourself, it's not like, it's not random. It's not like you're trying to make it work. It will be very precise to help you. Yeah.
So the name of this app, it's that one right at the top that says Runic Divination. It's this one right here.
So it's got like a little, it looks like kind of like a little mandala.
Yeah, it has it has a circle in the middle, and then it has all the rooms in a circle.
Yeah. Runic Divination, yeah. And it's got like a beigey, brownish, light brown kind of background. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, so have fun with it. That's really important. Build your relationship with it. And I mean, enjoy the eclipse energy for what it's offering. I think it's really great that we get to move into something really, I feel like it's fresh, a fresh kind of luck in the unknown, and we're opening the mystery for ourselves.
It's always when you're releasing like conditioning and ancestral stuff, it's going to feel fresh.
Absolutely.
Really, usually pretty good.
Yeah, totally. Well, this has been amazing, Carson.
Thank you.
You guys, be sure to check the description for Carson's website, because you can book with her for human design, for hypnotherapy, for coaching. Right. I'm plugging you for you.
Yeah. Don't book me for a human design reading. I've decided I'm not going to do that unless it's involved with hypnotherapy, because I don't want to just give you information. You can get that from ChatGPT now, y'all. If you tell them what it is, don't ask them to read a chart. Say, I am a splenic, I have this channel. Mm-hmm. Then it can give you information. It can't read for you. It can't be intuitive for you. But you can do that with that. I want to help you step into who you came here to be. I want to help you step into your power. So I will do human design, but it has to be with coaching or with, I just haven't updated my website with.
Yeah, I saw it on there. So that's why I said it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You knew that from the beginning when you were saying that. And now I had to do a couple before I was like, that felt hollow. Like I want to help you get in it. I don't want to just tell you.
Yeah. You want to give them guidance about the different things in their chart and put it in there with, your intuitive skills and your hypnotherapy. So 100%. I will say about myself too, I have now my Akashic record sessions. It's channeling.
So good. So good. You guys have to do it. It's complete. It's everything.
Today's the last day. The introductory half off price is until, I
didn't think it was going on anymore. Else I would have shouted it from the rooftops on social media, and I will again. You guys, this price, I don't get anything from this. I don't know what to say. You just have to do it at this price now. Mm-hmm. And it's not like a psychic reading where it's going to tell you your future. It is deeply healing. I got one 2 months ago. Would you say?
Maybe 6 weeks. I'm not sure.
It has led me on this journey of deep releasing. And I just feel so different. And I know that the energy I'm stepping into, and it was just my birthday. It's just everything was coming together, and it is very impactful, very powerful.
And you know what else? What else is really cool is that my booking system, Calendly, now has the facility for you to use something like Klarna to be able to do a pay later.
Oh, that's cool.
I know. I'm really glad they did that. Anyway,
nice.
So they're until 11:59 today. There's an introductory rate, but by tomorrow, but they're still going to be amazing. So there's that. And then
do it no matter what.
Right.
But do it now if you want to save some money.
Yeah. So we also have Modern Mystic. That is our subscription platform community. We do twice a month live sessions. We have a live group meditation, and we also
good too.
The community is so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. And if you just want, it's like nothing a month, and you show up. It's like you're paying for your reading app or whatever, but you're getting your meditations, you're connecting with people. There's a class. Sometimes you did an Akashic reading for people, and they gave you questions beforehand, and 5 people got actual sessions where I was like, this was huge. Yeah. Huge. Hot seat coaching. It's just great.
It's really beautiful, beautiful community. Thank you, Carson, for, shouting it out. There's a big catalog of meditations and past workshops, and it's a subscription, really low cost subscription, $22 a month, which you can start and stop anytime you want. We would love for you to start it and stay in it. And the next workshop is actually just after the second eclipse. It's scheduled for I think the 29th or 30th this month. And it's going to be Archangel Azrael, the Alchemy of Manifestation with Transitions. So
Transitions, yeah. I love you talking about the catalog too, because on a day when you're just like, I can't meditate on my own, I need something, you can use it as divination, just like scroll and see what you land on, or see what feels exciting, and you're like, okay, this feels nourishing, I'm gonna do this one, and it always is perfect timing.
I feel like I have to apologize because we went way longer than I said.
10 minutes. That's nothing.
Oh, is that all it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, and I hear Sterling in the background. Carson's
Alara.
daughters. Oh, is that Alara hollering?
Or both of them.
Sterling and Alara are the names of her beautiful, beautiful baby girls. Okay, so yes, check the description so that you can find all of that information. Come back live or watch us in our time travel capacity, meaning you watch it later and you know that you are part of that broadcast, and listen to the podcast, subscribe, comment, all of those good things. That's what we have for you in this episode. I am so excited to come to you guys regularly with Carson, maybe with some other guests and other co-hosts and stuff like that. But Carson, anchored in at every moment that I can steal her. And that's what we have for you for this episode. Thank you so much for shining your light. Thank you, Carson, for being here, for guiding us and on all the beauty that you bring to everything. Thank you, everyone, for shining your light on our beautiful world. And thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are.